I think these are the things that you'll be learning. Now, when we begin from here, we have most of the organisms that we have studied, even now because we have gone ahead with the syllabus, you have seen that most of the organisms will require water to survive. And water has very unique properties compared to the other molecules. And when we see what all is present in the water, we have hydrogen and oxygen. That's why we say H2O, and they are in the ratio 2:1. So there is covalent bonding between them, between the atoms and the electrons between them. And because of this, oxygen is more electronegative compared to the hydrogen. I'm not going to say hydrogen is electropositive. It is electronegative, but less than the oxygen. And because of this, there is going to be unequal sharing of electrons. And this unequal sharing will result in polarity. This polarity is because of the difference in electronegativity, right? Yeah. Here we have the shape of the water as well, that is going to be changed, or that is going to be unevenly distributed because of the polar changes. So if whenever I'm going to write about the water, I always write it OH and H, right? I never write it linear, because if I write it linear, it means that they have equal charge, but this is not equal charge. One is pushed away and the two are pushed downwards. So this is unevenly distributed charge. Now, because of this, one side will have a partially positive charge and the other side will always have a partially negative charge. And because of such properties of water, we have some of the subcomponents that are going to depend on, going to determine the properties. We have the hydrogen bond, which is a weak bond interaction between the negative and positive region. So if I'm going to take two separate molecules, imagine if this is my first water molecule and second water molecule, there will be weak bond interaction between them. And water itself can form these hydrogen bonds with other water molecules, or if there is no other water molecule, there can be other charged molecule. Example, I can take an amino acid in place of another water molecule. So if here my second molecule was water, here I'm going to take oxygen. So there can be a hydrogen bond formed between these two as well. Why? Because we have hydrogen bond, which is a weak bond, and because it is a weak bond, it can be created easily and it can break easily. Now, these are some important properties of water. So when we have two same molecules of hydrogen bond, then it will be cohesion. So here you have oxygen, you have the first water molecule and you have the second water molecule. So because this is more electronegative and hydrogen region is more electropositive, there will be a hydrogen bond formed between the oxygen and hydrogen. So if I put it quite simply, I have, this is a sorry, the electronegativity is more here and the electronegativity is a little less here. So this you can consider partially positive. But here again it is negative and here it is positive. So because of this, there is an attraction between them, and this attraction will lead to the hydrogen bond. But the bond between my oxygen and hydrogen is going to be covalent bond. Now, when there is two molecules that are going to attach to each other, same molecules, and here I'm talking about water, so it is called cohesion. Okay, is this clear to you?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, and here we have an example of water molecules that are going to bind to each other because of this cohesion. So if you have seen rainwater that is fallen on the grass or the plants, usually you have these larger plants, right? Now, if this was the leaf, if there are water droplets ahead, it will flow down and join with the second water droplet and make it a bigger droplet. I think you have seen this example quite a lot, right? So I will go ahead with this. Then we have adhesion, when we have two different molecules. Cohesion was same molecules, but now I have different molecules wherein hydrogen bonds are formed between these two different molecules, and that is why I call it adhesion. So here I have an amino acid, right? This is my amino acid. This is my hydrogen bond. So we know that it is partially negative towards the oxygen and partially positive near the hydrogens. And again, this amino acid will have oxygen that is partially negative. So because of this, there will be hydrogen bond formation between them. So this is how adhesion takes place. Now this you can see in the protein structure of most of the things. And when we go ahead with protein structure, you will see a lot of these examples, right? Then you have these living systems which depend on water. These hydrogen bonds of water molecules actually result in surface tension. Then you have cohesion, adhesion, and surface tension together. That is going to allow the water to have additional chemical behavior. And this additional chemical behavior is called emergent properties. And most of the life is going to depend on such properties. So you will see the examples here. Now, how does surface tension help? Surface tension is actually when there is more of hydrogen bonding between the water. And I think the leaf example also is can be used, or you can use a glass that is covered with steam, right? And after sometimes all the molecules will join together and form larger water droplets, right? This is my surface tension, and more the surface, more will be the attraction and bond formation. Then you have the adhesive properties, right? Now, adhesive property you can see here, I instead of water and water, I have water and sugar, right? It will it is very easily dissolved in the water. This is again because of adhesive property. And because of this adhesive property, water is highly in water is called universal solvent because of this adhesive property. Most of the solutes that you can think of is uh, can be dissolved easily in water. Only few are there which are not going to dissolve in water, but rest of them are easily dissolved in water. Then you have the cohesive property. Now, because of this cohesive property, there will be unique bond interactions that will occur when the water is in solid state, and this will make the ice less dense than the liquid. So I think we have seen what is cohesive property. So can you explain what this ice and solid state water and liquid state water will have cohesive property?